Hi, I'm Pratham. Today in this video we will make a step towards our project and we will try to implement a WebSocket service at the backend and the frontend. And before that we will understand about the need of Socket.io framework in our project. So let's dive into it. So why do we need Socket.io in this project? Socket.io has some advantages because it is a framework and it provides some amazing functionality to us. So let's discuss them. So it provides the abstraction over the WebSocket. So what does abstraction means? That it will create a WebSocket connection for us automatically and we just make a Socket.io object at our backend and frontend and it will do their job by using their engine.io, and so it makes easy for us to use it. So one advantage is that it provides us an abstraction over the WebSocket and we don't have to create our connection from the scratch. But as you noticed in my previous video that for making the WebSocket connection we don't have to hassle so much and we can easily create WebSocket connection. So this cannot be a good advantage of using it in this project. So let's discuss more that it provides us a fallback method. So what does fallback means here? Suppose we have some clients who are using some old browser like that they are not using some modern browser, we suppose WebSocket. So we have to also maintain the connection with them. So what does this library do? This library first trying to create a WebSocket connection. If they find that the client is not supporting WebSocket, so it's trying to make the long calling between the server and the client. So by using long calling technique, the Socket.io trying to mimic the real-time behavior and it will seems us to like we are doing the things in the real time. So this is one more advantage of using this library fallback, that is long calling. But that fallback can be a disadvantage as well because as we know that long calling takes so much resources than WebSocket, and if we don't need that long calling technique, so we should mention the transport type while creating or making the instance of the Socket.io object, that we are going to follow this transport either the long calling or the WebSocket. And in this project we will explicitly mention that we are going to use WebSocket because we don't need any fallback in our project. So these both advantages are not used of us. So why should we use that? So there is one advantage that is favorable to our use case, that is it provides us our rooms and namespaces, that in our project we need some private rooms and for the groups of people so they can play with each other. So for making the rooms we have to write a code from the scratch, but by using this library we don't have to write that much of code and we will use the room implementation that is provided by this framework and it will make our job easy. So this is the one advantage which is useful for us. And the last advantage that is useful for us, that is it provides us easy connection with the Redis. If you don't know why are we talking about the Redis and why are we discussing about the Redis, so please check my high level design video of this project. You will get the idea from there. I will put the link in the I button and as well as in the description, so you can check from there. So that's all about the advantages. So now let's jump into the WebSocket service implementation. I have just created a file WebSocket service in our backend service folder and we will going to make a WebSocket service. So we are following here a Singleton class pattern. I have just used my snippet which just write a code for the Singleton pattern. So here we have a private instance of this class and we have one method that is getInstance, which has the access modifier of public and static. So it returns this static object. If we already have the object in our instance, it will return it. Otherwise, it will create a new object and just return it. And this is the just a variable to access this. So how does Singleton pattern help us to here to make the code modular? So the need of WebSocket service is only the one, that is we need the WebSocket service our entire application for a once. For a once, what I mean for a once, that we need only a single instance of this WebSocket service. So this singleton pattern helps us to restrict to create more instance, and it will just restrict us to create just only one object, and by this get insert method. Also, this singleton pattern helps us to use the lazy initialization, that when we will just access this WebSocket service, it will just create the instance of this object at that time. So this will do the lazy initialization for this class, and we will get this single instance of this class. And also for using this pattern is that if I directly use the WebSocket service, and then we will have to use the game service and the game logic service, and then we have to import the files into our main application server.ts. So it will just create a cyclic dependency in our project, and we have to just figure out how can we resolve it, and this would be a one good way to resolve it. So we are following this method, the singleton method, and this is how singleton method looks like. So what we need here, first we have to install a library, that is SPMI, and that will be socket.io, and it will install the library socket.io for us, and we will use it here. So we are going to make a method that is going to initialize our WebSocket connection at the backend, and we have to just store one more thing, that is going to be a connection of WebSocket instance, that is going to be a WebSocket server, and a null for it, and by default we will assign it to our null value, and it is going to import from the socket.io. So this is what we need here, and now we will just initialize it, and we need one HTTP server here to make a WebSocket server. If you didn't watch my fundamentals videos of WebSocket, please check it out, and you will get the idea how we can create a native WebSocket. So please check it, and we will also clear out why do we need this HTTP server. So we will just have it HTTP server from HTTP. I am just naming it as HTTP server because otherwise the both name will collide with each other. So for separating that, I have used HTTP server. So now I have to, when someone calls this function, then we have to make our WebSocket server, and what does this server needs? A HTTP server and some options, that is what I have discussed. We will explicitly mention that we are going to use a transport, that is going to be a WebSocket, and a course. So why do we need this option course? If you are familiar with the course, that is cross origin resource service, it will allow to change the resource between the different origins. Like we are hosting our front-end application as different server, and it has other domain, and our backend application has other domains, so we need to communicate between them, but browser doesn't allow us to communicate directly with each other because of the security reason. So we have to mention that our servers allow the front-end domain, so the server will contact with us. So we have to mention the domain name here. So it will gonna be HTTP localhost, and it is going to be at port 3000. So this what we all need here, of course, and we have created it here. Now what we need to register the methods to our WebSocket connection. small. And now we have to register other events here, like socket dot on message, on messages, get the message, just to console it. So this is how we registered a message in it, but we need to do it some in different way, that we need some game handler to maintain that. So we will have one handler file here. Let's make it handler folder, and it has a file that is named as game handler. Yes, and I'm just pasting one of the method here, that is going to be a gate handler, and we don't have enum here, so let's create the enum here. So these are the events which we had discussed in our LLD design. So if you didn't watch that video, please check it out and you will get the idea about the events. So let's create it, and let's have one more folder, that is enums, and we have event type enum.ts. So let me just, so this all events what we need in this. So let's have it here and just ignore this. So here this is going to be our handler, and let's also ignore this for now. So for creating a game, we will receive a player from the front end, and we will just call our game service to create the game for this player and create a new game for this player. So we will have the logic here for creating the game, and for now we will just have let's create it. So now we have to do one thing, that I have to register the events. So we have to just call our game handler. Let me check. I have to export it here. Let's export it as a default, and let's pass this game handler. We have to just pass out software to this, and we register this method here, like we did for message. So just we have to register our methods here, and we have to like different methods like in create handler, and just we have to pass socket, and we have to just write a logic here to manage those events. So this is how we can register our methods here. Now we have to send messages to the front end. So let's make it. We need a method that is send private. Send message to this socket privately, and don't send the other members of the rooms. So this method will help us to do that, and here event end, and this is going to be a event type enum, and the message is going to be end. So now because we will get a message, and we will have to just send hello dot to this socket with the ID emit the event, and what we need to send message. So this is how we can send private message to it, that we will have this IO object, and this IO object has all the WebSocket connections that is connected to our backend as the list of that all, and we can immediately find that socket objects by using this socket.id. So here I have passed this socket.id, and it will emit that event to that particular socket. Now we need a more method, that is send to room. we have to send the all the things to the room. So let's have it, and the message will be any. And so this is just simply like a broadcast to the room. So how can we do that? This.io.2. Now we have to just get the room ID, just like we have a socket ID. We have one more thing that is going to be a room ID, and we will just pass this room ID to it and just emit the event, and it will send all the WebSocket connections who are connected to this room ID. So let's pass message. This is all we need at our WebSocket service, that the initialization functions and the way to send messages, private messages, and into the room. And now we can just move to the server.ts and have the WebSocket service here initialized and pass this server. This is HTTP server, and just pass it and it will just create for us. So this is what we all need here, the WebSocket service, and it is going to be a modular code, and it will not create any circular dependencies in our code. Now we have to make the things at the front end side. So let's have it. Let's create a service folder and have the same WebSocket service here. So this is going to also be a Singleton pattern, so I use just this, my snippet. So at front end we need another library, so let's install it. Skribble.copy cd Skribble.copy, and let's do HMI, and we need socket.io client for client side, and we just install the library. And now we need an instance of that socket here, create the connection, and we will have it like here, and this socket is going to be from that folder, that library. Now it looks fine, and now we have to just initialize this service by having this, and just return nothing, and this is going to be this socket, and we will just WebSocket connection, and we have to pass base URL in this. In our case, it will going to be HTTP localhost, and we are hosting our backend at 4000, and we have to just pass the transport medium here as well, that is going to be WebSocket. Let's do this, and we can also register some events like this socket.on. If there is an error from that side, just let's come on, there will be error. This is option for now, we don't need it for now. And now what we need to send message to the server, so let's have a emit event, and this is going to be event, and we will use the same event type. Let's have it any for now, and the message let's also have it any, We will change the type of this because we have to create one more enum, and we will also create a shared library between the front and back end, but it will create some issue while deploying our application. And we can also separate out that for the individuals repo. So we will create one more enum here that's have the event type. And now we need to register the events to it. So let's have a method register event, and we will just increase the event name, event type that is going to be any for now, and the handler which is going to handle this event, and this event is being received by the front end. What it will going to do is dot socket dot on event handle. So this is how we can register events, and we have to just call this method register event to register the events for this socket connection. So this is how this is gonna be look, and we will initialize our WebSocket at the main.tsx, like just called WebSocketService dot initialize, and it will initialize for us. So all what we need at front end and the implementation of the WebSocket for the project. Later on, we will cover the game service at the backend side and as well as at frontend side. So this is all about this video. I wanted some suggestions from you guys that shall we continue our project like this manner, that I will write the code in the video, or I will paste the code before and I will explain it to you guys. So please comment down which option is better, the live coding in video or just copy paste the code and explain that code to you guys. For the upcoming videos, I am thinking of some other technologies and protocols which is more interesting than this WebSocket, and we will have the reference of this WebSocket and the comparison between that technology, and that technology is used by the Google and many service provider like Discord to make a live video calling, and we will just dissect that technology and we will just create a demo of that. So I am thinking also of that. For that, please stay tuned with me and subscribe to the channel. And if you like this video, please comment down and like this video and subscribe to the channel. That's it. Thank you.